dear students, myself Miss Vaishali Dekate. Welcome to my channel. I am teaching you subject Maths 2 in Standard 9th. In this video, we will continue with our chapter number 2, Parallel Lines. We will continue with problem set 2. This is part 2 of our previous video in which we will solve question number 5 to 8. But before that, subscribe my channel by pressing subscribe at right side. Press the bell icon also to get my all videos. So children, this is part 2 of problem set 2. In part 1 we have solved question number 1, 2, 3 and 4. All these 4 questions we have solved in the part 1 of this video. Now in part 2 we will be solving from question number 5. So let us see what is question number 5. Question number 5 is line AB parallel to line CD parallel to line EF. So all these 3 lines are parallel to each other. Line QP is there transversal. This line QP is transversal. Ratio Y is to Z is equal to 3 is to 7. Y is to Z ratio is given 3 is to 7. We will have to find the measure of angle X. So let us see how to solve this sum. So as you all can see, I have written the question as it is on my page. Now let us solve this question. Solution. These 3 lines are parallel to each other. This is given to us. So first we will be taking these 2 lines, line CD parallel to line EF. Line CD parallel line EF and line PQ is there transversal. See children, here I am going to take angle W. So Y and W are vertically opposite angles. We can see here they form the pair of vertically opposite angles. If I draw this line CD, this is line CD and this is line PQ. Here we are getting angle Y and angle W. They are forming pair of vertically opposite angles, and we all know vertically opposite angles are congruent with each other. So this we will be writing afterwards. First we will write this ratio. This is given to us. Y ratio Z is equal to 3 ratio 7. So let us write Y is to Z is equal to 3 is to 7. This is given to us. So let us take the values for Y and Z. Let Y will be equal to 3A, correct, and Z will be equal to 7A. Y and Z 3 is to 7, it is given to us. As it is in the form of ratio, the values we will have to take in this form 3 with certain variable. Okay, as X and Y are given in the question only, so we should not take X and Y. You can take any other variable. You can take A, B, M, N like that. So Y should be equal to 3A and Z should be equal to 7A. Now as I have shown you, Y and W are vertically opposite angles. So we will be using this property of vertically opposite angles now. But Y is equal to W, or if you want you can write angle symbol also, but here Y, W angles are given, so let us write angle W, angle Y and W are equal, because the reason is, first I will be writing here 2, this is 1. Okay, the reason is they are vertically opposite angles. So Y is 3A, but angle Y is equal to 3A. Therefore, angle W will also be equal to 3A. So this we should not write anything, any equation number here. don't require, we only have to put the equation number here. Angle y is equal to angle w because they are vertically opposite angle. Angle y is 3a and that's why angle w will also be 3a. Now let us see this angle w and angle z. Okay, w and z, they are interior angles on the same side of the transversal in two parallel lines. So the interior angles in the two parallel lines which are on the same side of the transversal are supplementary. So we will be using the property of interior angles. Angle W plus angle Z is equal to 180 degree. What is the reason for this? They are the pair of interior angles. So only interior angles we can write here. Reason, interior angles. Now W is 3a and Z is 7a is equal to 180 degree as it is we write. Okay, substituting values we can write here. Substituting values. The reason is we have substituted the values. Now 3a plus 7a we can do it is 10a. 10a is equal to 180. Now this 10 we can transfer from left hand side to right hand side. Here 10 multiply by a. 10a means always there is multiplication sign. So when you transfer it becomes divide by. A as it is I write, 180 as it is right. Only this 10 we are going to transfer, it becomes divide by. So 180 divided by 10 is 18. Answer is 18. So A value we have got 18. So A is 18. From this A we can get the value of Y and Z. So let us write the value of Y and Z. This can be number 4, A value, and we will be substituting the value of A in 1. So Y is equal to 3A means what? 3 multiplied by A means 18 is equal to 18 3s are 54. Correct. And then Z is equal to 7a means 7 multiplied by 18. Value of A we will put 18. 18 7s are 126. So Y value is 54 degree, Y angle is 54 degree and Z angle is 126 degree. Now let us observe this X and Y. X and Y are in the two parallel lines. They are interior angles and they are on the same side of the transversal. So they are interior angles. Interior angles are supplementary. We will be using this property. So let us write here. As I don't have space on this side, I will be writing on this side. Okay. From here we will continue on this side. Continue. So we will be writing these two lines parallel. Line AB parallel line CD. And which line is inverse transversal? Line PQ is transversal. Line PQ is transversal. So these two angles, angle X and Y, are interior angles and interior angles are supplementary, we all know. So angle X plus angle Y is equal to 180 degree. The reason is they are interior angles. Angle Y we have got 54. X we will have to find out. So X plus 54 degree is equal to 180 degree. X as it is I am going to write is equal to 180 degree as it is I am writing. Only plus 54 we are going to transfer from left to right. It becomes minus 54. And therefore X is equal to, what is 180 minus 54? It is 126. In this way the value of X we have got 126. So this is the full solution from this to this. Question number 6. In figure 2.26, line Q is parallel to line R and line P is their transversal. We have to find the value of F and G. Value of A is given 80. So this A is 80. Let us find the value of F and G. Let us solve the sum. I have written the question as it is on my page. Start the solution. What is given to us? Line Q is parallel to line R. Q parallel line R, and line P is their transversal. Angle A is equal to 80 degree. This A is equal to 80 degree given to us. So if you observe this A and C, these are vertically opposite angle. These are in the shape of X and they are vertically opposite angles, and that's why they are congruent with each other. They are equal. A is equal to C. The reason we should write here, this can be number 1. Here I will give it number 2, and reason we will write in the bracket. Vertically opposite angles. So as A is 80, C will also be 80. Therefore C is equal to 80. This will be our third equation. This we have written from 1 and 2. The reason is from 1 and 2. Now C is 80. Now let us observe this C and F. They are inside two parallel lines and they are on the same side of transversal. That means they are interior angles. And property of interior angles is interior angles are supplementary. So here we can write C plus F is equal to 180 degree. The reason we will have to write interior angles on the same side of transversal. So C is 80. In place of C we put 80 plus F is equal to 180 degree. F as it is I am writing 180 degree, as it is I am writing this plus 80, we will transfer from left to right, it becomes minus 80. So 180 minus 80 we will get 100, and therefore F is equal to 100 degree. So first answer we have got F, which is 100 degree. Now we will have to get the answer for G. Now let us observe this angle C and angle G. These two angles are on the same side of the transversal. One arm is in the left hand side, other arm is in the downward direction. Similarly, G is having one arm in the left hand side, other arm in the downward direction. That means they are corresponding angles, and corresponding angles are congruent with each other. Therefore, C is equal to G. I am not putting the angle symbol here because C, G, F, it is given like this only in the question. So C is equal to G. This will be fourth one. The reason for this is corresponding angles. Okay, this I will write fifth one. This will be fourth one. So as F is 100, now we will have to find out C, and C is given, G we will have to find out. C is 80. We have got C is equal to 80 in our equation number 3. So as C is 80, G will also be equal to 80. Therefore, G is also equal to 80. Why G is equal to 80? We have got it from third equation, from equation number 3. So in this way, we have got this both this value. G is equal to 80 and F is equal to 100. Question number 7 in the figure 2.27, if line AB is parallel to CF, line AB and CF, these two lines, vertical lines, are parallel each other. Horizontal lines BC and ED are also parallel to each other. We will have to prove that angle ABC and angle FDE are congruent. So this line AB we will extend in downward direction. So AB will intersect this ED in one point. So let us do this construction first and then we will solve the sum. I have written the question as it is on my page. I have drawn the diagram as it is on my page. I will be extending this line AB in downward direction. In this way, and then I will give some name. Maybe this is point Q. So in solution we will start like this. First we will be writing construction in solution. Construction. What construction we did here? We have extended this line AB so it can intersect line ED in point Q. So construction is extend line AB to intersect line ED in point Q. So we can see that A dash B dash Q. Point B is in between A and Q. A dash B dash Q. P is in between A and Q. Now let us start the proof. We have to prove that. Okay. So given, we will have to write given. Given is line AB parallel to line CF and line BC parallel line ED. This given also we will have to write. And then to prove. What is to prove? We will have to prove that this angle ABC and FDE are equal. Angle ABC is equal to angle FDE. Now let us solve the sum. In solution we start the construction. We start the solution with construction and then let us write the proof. Here also you can start the solution. You can write solution from here. I will be writing proof now. Let us see what to write in the proof. How to start the proof. Now as line BC and this BC and ED are parallel. This is given to us. So we will be writing line BC is parallel to line ED. BC and ED, these two lines. If you take this line as L and this line as M, so BC is L and ED is M. And we will take this line AB, maybe N, that means line AB is our transversal and line AB is their transversal. So let us observe these two angles. Angle ABC and angle BQD I will show by using my red color pen. This angle ABC and angle BQD, what type of angles are these? These two angles are on the same side of the transversal. Both the angles having one arm in the upward direction, other arm is on the right hand side. ABC, this angle ABC, one arm in the upward direction, other arm in the right hand side. BQD is also having one arm. This is angle Q. BQD means angle Q. One arm in the upward direction, other arm in the right hand side. That means these two angles are corresponding angles, and we all know corresponding angles are congruent. That means angle ABC is equal to angle BQD. This will be our first statement. The reason for this statement is they are corresponding angles, and that's why they are congruent with each other. Now let us take these two parallel lines, line AB. Okay, I will be drawing this here in rough, so you will get better understanding. Line AB, this is line AB, and somewhere Q is also there. So either you can say AB or AQ, one and the same thing. And this line CD, these two lines are parallel. This is also given to us. CD and AB are parallel. This is also given to us. Okay, so AB and CF, you can write CF also or CD also, one and the same thing. I can write CF also, CD also. Now we will take this ED as the transversal. ED as the transversal. ED. So AB and CF are parallel and ED is the transversal. Let us write this first. Line AB, parallel line CF. This is given in the question only. Line CF. And which line we have to take as the transversal? We will be taking this line ED as the transversal. And line ED is their transversal. So here we have written angle BQD. So observe this angle BQD. This angle BQD. If you write angle BQD also it is okay. If you write angle BQF also it is okay. So this is BQD, this angle BQD, and observe angle FDQ. BQD and FDQ. What type of angles are these? You can see Z. The shape of Z is formed. Here angle point B, here point Q, here point D, and here point F is there. So this is FDQ and this is BQD. BQD and FDQ, we can see they are in the figure of Z. That means they are alternate angles, and alternate angles are congruent with each other. So I can write here FDQ, or you can write FDE also, one and the same thing. Either you can write FDQ or FDE. This is only the extension of this side, correct? So I will be writing angle BQD and angle FDE. They are congruent with each other because they are alternate angles. Angle BQD is equal to angle FDE. This will be our second equation. The reason is alternate angles. Now observe this first and second statement. In first statement we have proved that angle ABC is congruent with angle BQD. In second statement we have proved that angle BQD is congruent with angle FDE. That means first angle is congruent with second angle and second angle is congruent with third angle. So automatically first angle will be congruent with third angle. This is known as reflexivity. Okay. When first is congruent with second and second is congruent with third, automatically first will become congruent with third. So from 1 and 2 we can write, therefore ABC is equal to FDE from 1 and 2. This is we have to prove. So whatever we have to prove should be the last statement of that proof. Hence we have got the proof. Hence proved. Question number 8. Line PS is transversal of parallel line ABCD. AB and CD, these two lines are parallel and line PS is their transversal. Ray QX, ray QI, ray RX, ray RY are angle bisector. All these rays which we can see here with broken lines, they are these dotted rays are the bisectors. Okay, what we have to prove? We have to prove that this quadrilateral QXRY is a rectangle. We can see a quadrilateral is formed here. This is a small quadrilateral we can see. We have to prove that this quadrilateral is a rectangle. That means what we have to prove? The property of rectangle is when all four angles are of 90 degree, then such type of quadrilateral is rectangle. We all know that. Means what? We will have to prove that this angle is also x is also 90 degree, y is also 90 degree, r is also 90 degree, and q is also 90 degree. If we prove this all four angles are of 90 degree, then we can say that this quadrilateral QXRY is a rectangle. So let us see how to prove it. I have made two parts for my proof, statement and reason. I have drawn the diagram on my page so I can explain to you all properly. Now let us first take these two lines, two parallel lines, line AB and line CD, these two parallel lines, and line PS as their transversal. Now we don't look at this bisectors. Okay, right now we will be observing only these two lines and their parallel line PS, which intersect line AB in point Q and line CD in point R. So inside these two lines we can have these alternate angles. Okay, first pair is angle BQR and angle CRQ. So we will be using the property of alternate angles. First we will be using first pair angle BQR and angle CRQ. Afterwards we will be using this second pair angle AQR and angle DRQ. So let us first use this BQR and angle CRQ. For that we will have to write line AB parallel line CD and line PS is their transversal. So start our proof. Line AB parallel line CD and line PS is their transversal. So as I have told you, we will be taking this first pair angle BQR and angle CRQ. Angle BQR is equal to angle CRQ. This is first statement. This first statement is given in the question, that's why we have to write given. For second statement, the reason is alternate angles. Now see what I am going to do. I will be multiplying both the sides by half. Half angle BQR is equal to half angle CRQ. This will be my second statement. The reason for this statement is multiply both sides by 1/2. Now we will be using the property of angle bisector. Now let us observe this angle BQR. Okay, I am drawing here again. This is angle BQR. Its bisector is, here it is, point Y is there. Okay, its bisector is QY. This QY is the bisector, and we all know due to bisector the angle is divided into two equal angles. Which two equal angles we can see? Angle BQY is equal to angle YQR. Correct. And both these angles will be half of this bigger angle BQR. So in place of half of this angle BQR, I can write YQR here. In place of half angle BQR, I can write angle YQR only, angle YQR. Similarly, what we can write in place of half angle CRQ? Let us see. This is angle CRQ. I will be drawing here. This is angle CRQ, and RX is the bisector. This ray RX is the bisector, and due to this ray RX, this angle CRQ is divided into two equal angles. Which two equal angles? Angle CRX is equal to angle XRQ, and both these angles will be half of angle CRQ. So in place of angle half angle CRQ, what I can write? I can write angle XRQ. So in place of half angle CRQ, I am going to write angle XRQ. This will be my fourth statement. For both this statement, I will be writing these properties. QY is the bisector of angle BQR and CRX is the bisector of angle CRQ. Ray QY is bisector of angle BQR and ray RX, this is X, ray RX is bisector of angle CRQ. As we have shown both these angles equal, let us take any measurement for these angles. Let angle YQR is equal to angle XRQ is equal to small x, say x degree. Okay, this will be our fifth one. Now first pair of alternate angles we have taken. Now we will be taking the second pair as I have shown you in the beginning only. AQR and DRQ, this is the second pair, correct? This AQR and DRQ will be the second pair of alternate angles. So let us take this second pair, AQR and DRQ. Now angle AQR is equal to angle DRQ. This is my sixth statement. For sixth statement, the reason is alternate angles. Again, I will be multiplying both the sides by half. 1/2 AQR is equal to 1/2 DRQ. This will be my seventh statement. The reason for this, multiply both sides. By half. Now let us see which is the angle bisector of AQR and which is the angle bisector of DRQ. Okay, so this is angle AQR. Here I am going to draw this angle AQR. AQR bisector is QX. This QX is the bisector, so AQR is divided into two equal angles. Which two equal angles? Angle AQX is equal to angle RQX or XQR, and both these angles will be half of this angle AQR. So in place of half angle AQR, what I can write now? Angle XQR. Half angle AQR, I can write angle XQR. Similarly, let us see which is the bisector of DRQ. Here we can see angle DRQ. I will be drawing here angle DRQ and its bisector is RY. Correct. So RY is bisector. That means DRQ is divided into two equal angles. Angle DRY is equal to angle YRQ. And both these angles are half of angle DRQ, correct? So in place of half angle DRQ, what I can write now? Angle YRQ. The statement number 8. For this statement, we will be writing the names of rays which are bisectors. So angle AQR bisector is ray QX, and for angle DRQ bisector is ray RY. So I will be writing here ray QX is bisector of angle AQR and ray RY is bisector of angle DRQ. So in this way we have got these two angles which are congruent with each other. So let us take any measurement for this. XQR is equal to YRQ is equal to, let us say, y degree. Okay, this will be our ninth statement. Okay, now see children, due to these bisectors, this quadrilateral is formed, and on both the sides we can see this quadrilateral is divided into two triangles. Here on the left hand side we can see triangle XQR. I am going to draw this triangle. This is triangle XQR. We all know in each and every triangle there are three angles. Here we can see angle X, angle Q and angle R. But we will be using three letters for writing this angle. So for this triangle, angle X can be written as angle QXR. X should be the middle point. Then angle Q should be written as angle XQR plus angle R should be written as angle XRQ. And what is the property of sum of all three angles of triangle? Sum of three angles of triangle is 180 degree. So this property we are going to apply for this triangle. So let us apply. In triangle XQR, we will be writing all these three angles: angle XQR, angle QXR plus angle XQR plus angle XRQ is equal to 180 degree. The reason for this is sum of all angles of triangle. Now see children, here we have taken YQR, XRQ is equal to X degree. So YQR, where is YQR? This is YQR. So YQR is X, so XRQ is also X. Then XQR is Y, so YRQ is also Y. So this is X, this is X, this is Y and this is Y. So in place of XRQ I can write X, in place of XQR I can write Y. And this angle we don't have any measurement, so I will be writing this angle as it is. This angle QXR can be written as it is plus XQR. XQR is Y degree and XRQ is X degree. So this is Y degree plus X degree is equal to 180 degree. This I will be giving 10th one. Then same thing we can apply on the right hand side of the triangle. Name of right hand side triangle is QYR. In triangle QYR, which are the three angles? Angle QYR plus angle YQR plus angle YRQ is equal to 180 degree. This will be our 11th. And again this is sum of all angles of triangles. Now XYR is not known to us. In place of YQR I can write X. In place of YRQ I can write Y is equal to 180 degree. Okay, so no, this should not be given as 11, this should be given as 11th. Now once again we will be observing the diagram. In the diagram we can see that this AQR and CRQ are the angles which are inside these two lines and they are on the same side. That means they are interior angles. AQR, this AQR and CRQ, these two angles are interior angles and that's why they are supplementary. We will be using this property. So let us write angle AQR plus angle CRQ is equal to 180 degree. Reason for this is they are interior angles. I can divide both the sides by half AQR plus half CRQ is equal to half into 180 multiply by half. So half AQR means what? Half AQR means XQR. Okay. So in place of half AQR, I can write XQR. In place of half CRQ, I can write XRQ is equal to half into 180 is 90 degree. Now see children, XQR means Y. So I can write Y degree plus XRQ means X. I can write X degree is equal to 90 degree. So here in place of Y degree plus X degree we can write 90 degree. Similarly here also X degree plus Y degree we can write 90 degree. This will be our equation number 12. From 12, 10 and 12 we can write from 10 and 12 XQR as it is I write. In place of Y plus X I can write 90 degree is equal to 180 degree. So angle QXR is equal to 180 degree minus 90 degree. This we have written from 10 and 12. 10 and 12. Okay. So angle QXR we are getting 90 degree. This is the first angle of our quadrilateral. Now again from this 10th again from this 12th and 11th what we can get QYR plus 90 because X degree plus Y degree is 90 degree. So QYR plus 90 degree is equal to 180 degree from 11th and 12th. So here I will be writing angle QYR plus 90 degree is equal to 180 degree. So angle QYR is equal to 180 degree minus 90 degree, and therefore here I will be writing angle QYR is equal to 90 degree. I will put a box. This we have got, this statement we have got from 11 and 12. So this is our A, this is our B. We have got these two angles, angle QXR which is 90 degree, QXR 90 degree. Here we have got QYR also 90 degree. That means two opposite angles we have got 90 degree. Now we have to get these two opposite angles Q and R also 90 degree. So if both these angles we get 90 degree, then this quadrilateral will become a rectangle. So let us solve after this. This angle XQY, okay, this is the continuation of this statement. This proof we will continue on next page. So this is the continuation of the proof on next page. If you observe this angle QXQY, angle XQY, this angle is made up of these two small angles XQR and YQR. So this is the addition of XQR plus angle YQR. Okay, angle addition property. So angle XQY is equal to XQR is Y, YQR is X. Y plus X degree just now we have proved is equal to 90. Correct? This we have proved 90 degree. Y plus X is equal to 90 degree. This we have proved in 12 from 12. Okay, so x cube y we have got 90 degree. Similarly x r y is also 90 degree because it is x plus y. Similarly angle x r y is equal to 90 degree because it is x plus y is equal to 90 degree. So in this way these four angles we have got 90 degree each. X cube y is also 90 degree, x r y is also 90 degree, this x cube y is also 90 degree, x r y is also 90 degree, this angle x and y are also 90 degree. Just now here we have got x and y 90 degree. So when all four angles are of 90 90 90 degree, that means this quadrilateral here will be, this quadrilateral will be a rectangle. So let us write, in quadrilateral Q, X, R, Y, all these angles, angle XQY is equal to angle XRY is equal to angle QXR is equal to angle QYR, QXR is equal to angle QYR. All angles are of 90 degree, all four angles 90 degree. Therefore quadrilateral QXRY is a rectangle. In this way we have to write the proof. Big proof, but if you follow all the steps properly you will not find anything difficult. This is the end of the proof. So we have to write hence proved.
Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.